Hi everyone, my name is Erica with LNL 3D Solutions, and in part 3 of this tutorial video series, we're going to be going over leveling. Let's get started. Proper bed leveling is a key to completing a successful print. Making sure that first layer is level is important to avoid problems like adhesion issues or warping on the prints. Monitoring the first layer of a print is the best way to ensure its success. Most print failures are preventable from just monitoring the first layer. You can level the bed using auto leveling or manual leveling, and in this video we're going to be covering manual leveling. Manual leveling requires more careful adjustment and patience, but that doesn't mean it's hard to do. By adjusting the four corners of the print bed, we can adjust the distance between the nozzle and the surface of the printer bed. It's important that the distance between each point on the printer bed and the nozzle is the same. The first thing you're going to need is a paper for leveling and an M3 Allen key that is included in the bag of tools with your printer. The printer has 4 of these adjustment wheels, 1 in each of the 4 corners. By adjusting the wheel clockwise, it will raise the bed closer to the nozzle. By adjusting the wheel counterclockwise, it will lower the bed further away from the nozzle. So the first thing you want to do before you start is lower the bed, turning each of the 4 adjustment wheels counterclockwise so that when you home the printer, the nozzle doesn't crash into the bed. Make sure the printer is in dual material mode and not duplication. Now we can go to Tools, Move Axis, and home the printer. Then, if you're not already, make sure you switch to nozzle 1. Now back on the main screen, we can go ahead and preheat our E1 nozzle to 200 degrees and our bed to 60 degrees. Leveling the bed while hot at printing temperature is the best way to get a good bed level. Once up to temperature, you can then go to Tools, Leveling, and position the E1 to the front left corner. Take your sheet of paper and place it in the gap between the build plate and the nozzle. Slowly adjust the wheel clockwise until the paper almost touches the nozzle. This is just a rough position. As you adjust the other corners, it will raise up this first corner. Keep doing this to each of the 4 corners. Then, once you get back to the front left corner, keep adjusting the wheel until you feel a little resistance where the nozzle scratches the paper. Do the same for each corner. Keep doing this until each of the 4 corners feels the same resistance. It may take a few times. Once all 4 corners feel the same, preheat the E2 to 200 degrees. Then you can go to Tools, Leveling, and switch to nozzle 2. You then only have to level the E2 in the front left corner, again trying to feel the same resistance on the paper as you did with the E1. As you may have noticed, the E2 is a bit too far away from the bed. We need to lower it, so we need to turn the printer around in order to work on it from behind. So now that the printer is turned around, you can see the back of the E2. There are 4 screws attaching the tool head to the X-axis gantry plate. Underneath the top 2 screws are 2 set screws that lock this red adjustment wheel into place. So start by loosening those 2 set screws with your M3 Allen key tool. So looking at the printer from behind, moving the red adjustment wheel to the right brings the tool head down. Moving it to the left raises the tool head up. In this case, we need to lower the tool head, so we're going to move the red adjustment wheel to the right. Make sure the tool head doesn't move much when you're adjusting. A major move in position can affect your leveling as well. If it happens, just level again to the same corner. Now you can take your leveling paper and try to get the same feel you did with the E1, and keep adjusting as needed. As a tip, you want to adjust the E2 slightly lower than you did with the E1, because when you tighten the 2 set screws again, it will pull the tool head up slightly. Once you have it just right, now you can retighten the 2 set screws. Once the set screws are in, the tool head is now locked in position, and you shouldn't have to level it anymore. That should do it. Now both the E1 and the E2 should be the same distance away from the bed. Now you can home the printer and get closer to your first print. So that'll do it for part 3 of this video series, Beginner's Guide to 3D Printing, Leveling. Stay tuned for part 4. We're L&L 3D Solutions. Follow us on all our socials and feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Happy printing!